So I would tell any investor, look at where you are now, create a realistic plan, how much money I'm going to make. And most people will tell you, and I've heard this all the time, right? People say, I want to make 15 to 20,000. I got 100,000, right? And I say, fair enough. Why don't you go into a real estate investment trust? Because what happens is with a real estate investment trust, most people look at the markets, most people look at the markets and they say, I don't want to buy a security. Don't they rip you off? Well, it's the best way really to understand the market. So I tell them, I say, okay, first of all, a real estate investment trust is structured as a fund. Okay. It's going to pay out a yield. If you get a really cost-effective real estate investment trust, you can get it at a low cost.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And yes, I am excited. I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to get a wealth of knowledge. You are about to get nuggets on top of nuggets. And so I am so happy to have with us today Mr. Keith Pinder. This gentleman, listen, he's going to help you talk. He's going to talk about maximizing and leveraging your investments, right? They have a holistic approach to the way that they do things. They love to educate. And so, again, I'm excited for you guys to hear from Mr. Keith Pinder. Mr. Pinder, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that intro. That was I couldn't do that better myself. Thank you.
No, well, that's good. That's good to hear because, man, I'm already impressed with you and what you do. I'm sure our viewers are going to be impressed. And so I kind of want to scale back my voice and I kind of want to give you the floor. So if you don't mind, take us through maybe a little bit how you got started, maybe a little bit why you got started. Like, take us into your world. What do you mainly focus on these days within your business?
Right. So it's funny. I like the word you use is a holistic approach. Right. And so a lot of times when we look at real estate investing, we forget the second word to that is investing. Right. And I think that for us, what we focus on, it specifically is value, how to leverage value. So I'm gonna get into that real quick. I'll give you a 50,000-foot overview of where I came from and what brought me into this. I'll try to condense it the best way I can. Started in the investment world about 2003. Started at a hedge fund, smiling and dialing. Most people know what that is if you're over 40. And basically talked to a lot of wealthy people and soliciting them the stocks in the wild cowboy days. And we made a lot of money. And so I had someone, part of the firm, come to me and say, hey, let's start taking these companies, these small cap companies public abroad. You talk about China, Israel, Germany, things of that nature. And so we started doing that. And when we started doing that, we started, that's more of investment banking dynamic, right? So there's reverse mergers, blank check deals, direct listings, and things of that nature. And we started doing that and was very.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Very, very lucrative. And what I saw, it was that there was a bridge between companies that could sustain the proper capital to increase their value, right? In the small cap, micro cap space. So I created a company to help them do that, which was Landing Capital. And then that's in the IR capacity. And what we do with Landing Capital is that we help these companies, these small and micro cap companies, increase their market capitalization by bringing more investors to that company. So the company comes to us, we put a holistic approach around them, sell side, buy side, non-deal roadshow, and the whole nine. And we help the company create a larger sense of credibility to the investment public. Again, we're talking about value. We're accentuating value. And so when the investor sees that, they say, okay, they have a real company, they have a real investment thesis, they have a real approach to a need. I like it. Let me invest in it. And so we've been very blessed, with Landing Capital to increase, 85% of the companies we've represented over the last 8 years have increased over 100%. Right. And so, and these companies are, we're agnostic when it comes to companies we represent. So when you look at that, you know, we've had a lot of clients or investors from these companies come to us and say, hey, we got money. We got, what else do you have? We want you to help us manage. Well, you know what you're doing. You know your way around the market. You've been very, very, um, you know, um, pivotal in helping us, sustain growth. How can we give you some money? And so, I was reluctant for years to say, okay, let me create, a retail firm. And what I mean by retail is like, institution to consumer, from an investment standpoint. I was held reluctant until my wife came to me and she said, look, I'm liquidating this stock. What do I do with it? I love real estate. How can I leverage it? I like this properties, and we live in Atlanta. So, obviously, my office is in Atlanta and New York, and I'm looking at the property value in New York decreasing in the city in Manhattan. I'm looking at Atlanta as increasing. I'm looking at the influx of traffic between, in the South. And I'm like, there's a lot of meat here, and people keep coming to me. So a year ago, we started Thomas and Thomas Investment Group, right? And so Thomas and Thomas Investment Group, and now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it. Thomas and Thomas Investment Group, our focus and our advisors' focus is to, again, I say this, is to put a holistic approach around investing, right? And what I've seen, and it is a little interesting that in the market, I've seen people say, okay, well, go in commercial and go in retail and, rent houses, Airbnb, and all these things. And then you see a group of people rush to it. But what you also see is the kickback responses of the videos and the horror stories of people saying, hey, I leased to this person and they flooded my building. Or, I know in certain states, New Jersey and New York, they're more tenant friendly. And, it took me 8 years or 3 years to get this person out of here, and I've been losing money. And so you've seen the horror stories of people destroying properties, and Airbnbs have cutting back. And so, there's not a one size fit all for real estate investing. And so again,
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I say this, we go back to value.
Yeah.
Money is a byproduct of what value is. And so when we bring our clients in, our investors, our advisors are geared towards understanding what is the investor profile, right? Let's say hypothetically speaking, you have a mom is a teacher, the dad is a plumber. Collectively, they're bringing in 200,000 a year. Okay. Now we would say that's a lot of money, but in hindsight, it depends on what market you live in. Let's say they live in Washington, D.C., right? We all know Washington, D.C. is really expensive to live in. And we're advising them on, hey, what's the best approach? And let's say they don't know, they're currently renting a very high rent apartment or townhome, and we're advising them and saying, you know, look, they come to us and say, hey, we want to know about investing. How can we learn about investing? And we want to invest in the market. Well, my first approach to them is, hey, okay, what's your time horizon? What are you looking to make? How much are you looking to make? Because you have to extract the information to be able to put a plan in place. So that's the first thing. So I would tell any investor, look at where you are now. Create a realistic plan. How much money I'm going to make? And most people will tell you, and I've heard this all the time, right? People say, I want to make 15 to 20,000. I got 100,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, fair enough. Why don't you go into a real estate investment trust? Because what happens is with a real estate investment trust, most people look at the markets, most people look at the markets and they say, I don't want to buy a security. Don't they rip you off? Well, it's the best way really to understand the market. So I tell them, I say, okay, first of all, a real estate investment trust is structured as a fund. Okay. It's going to pay out a yield. If you get a really cost-effective real estate investment trust, you can get it at a low cost. There's a thing called a discount to the NAV. That's a net asset value. So you want to find a fund that has a discount to the net asset value. Okay. That is very important. So if you find a real estate investment trust that has a discount to the net asset value, and you say, okay, great. Some also come with a yield. You want to find those with a high yield. Okay. So then you got two things you're looking for. We're looking for this couple, hypothetically, a fund with a relatively net asset value and a high yield. Let's say this couple is giving you $100,000 and they say, I want to make 20,000 a year, 15 to 20,000. Well, if you find a real estate investment trust that's going to pay you out a 15% yield annualized, you're instantly making money without even moving money. Now, here's the beautiful thing about that, right? What most people don't understand. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, why am I going to invest in a real estate investment trust in the market is the first thing I'm going to do to let my clients understand what real estate is about. Well, because you earn while you learn. And you can leverage that investment. What do I mean? Once you take and you put that 100,000 into that brokerage account, you're earning a 15% right yield. So you're earning annualized 15% on 100,000. So you're making money. Well, the net asset value the discounts in the net asset value going to help you because if let's say if that that REIT is at $15, it's going to increase in value because you're discounting that asset value. So, I mean, that's undervalued. That's an undervalued equity. So, as it continue to trade, it's going to increase in value, not decrease. Okay.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So now you're saying that. So you're gonna get money off the increase of the price. You're gonna get money on the actual yield. And guess what else? You may say, Keith, you know what? I don't have any free cash. You don't need free cash because now you can borrow off that equity. So now you can borrow off that equity. So hypothetically speaking, you can borrow 50% off that equity. So now your investment doesn't move. You're not moving it to get taxed. Now you're borrowing it. So that's a cost. Now, I'm not a tax attorney, but you can actually associate it with a cost on your on your next, tax year, right? And so now you're taking that money you just borrowed off an asset now. Now you can take that money and put it down for your new place or that new build, right? Now, I'll stop right there, right? What did this couple learn? Hypothetically. Now, this hypothetical couple, what did they learn? They learned about a real estate investment trust. They learned about what they do, how they do it. They learned a little bit more about the market. They watched their money grow. They did not have any barrier to entry. There was no growing pains, right? They didn't have to pay much. They just took their money and sat it somewhere. Okay. Why is that good? Because most people will go and buy a piece of property and they have to costs, right? You have the permits, you have the builders, you have material, you have all these things. So we advise our clients to stay away from that stuff from your first go around. We want you to make money. We want you to be happy, right? Because doing something from a standpoint of power is better than doing it from a standpoint of desperation, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, so you can go to now you have the power of borrowing, right? And the banks know the money is there; it's not going anywhere. Okay, now we go forward. How would I advise that person? And we've done this before. How would I advise that couple now to buy in the market? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, they want to advise. They live in DC. Well, what should we buy, Keith? Emerging growth markets. Okay. I like Orlando, right? No one's talking about it. I like Orlando. I like downtown Orlando. I like the outskirts of downtown Orlando. I like Atlanta. And what no one's talking about, everyone talking about the city of Atlanta. Well, guess what? There's a new stadium that the Braves did called Truist, I think it's Truist, called Truist Park, but it's in Cobb County. In that county, there's a lot of, and that's understanding different demographics, right? You have to do your research. And I'll always implore people in real estate to do your research in different emerging growth markets. I like San Francisco at this point. I like LA. I don't like the taxes, but I like San Francisco. I love starving markets. I love New York right now. The Manhattan is a golden era right now. When you talk about geopolitical issues also brings value there. So we'll talk about that. So I'll go into Atlanta. What happens is, and people are talking about it, but you got to understand how to leverage it. So we talk about tax write-off, right? Tax properties, right? I tell people there's currently a mall in Kennesaw, Georgia, that's just sitting there. It's about to go on auction. I'm telling you, as we speak, There's a mall in Kennesaw, Georgia. It's about to go in auction. There's a company in New York that owns it. That you can get that company. You can get a 5 acres land for pennies on a dollar. They're going to auction off for $1 million. Okay. The reality of it is, you can get a property like that at retail costs about 17 to 16, 16, 17 million. What you can do with that is basically go and get a tax property. You can go to the auction. Cobb County is one of those counties. You can go to the courthouse. You can find out where they have sanctions on these properties, commercial properties, and where these properties own a crap ton of taxes. You can essentially, very simple, not nothing complicated. And we advise our clients to do this. Scrub the property, find the owner, and say, hey, look, you owe this in taxes. I can actually pay it. I want to get this property from you. Would you actually release it? The person gonna be free and clear. They ain't gonna pay taxes. You're gonna pay it for them. You want them to sign over the property. 9 times out of 10, if you do it properly, I've seen it done a lot of times, they're gonna do it. You take that property. What are you gonna do? You're going to then take a loan. Or that property has value. You can leverage that property. Now you've earned money off that property, and the money you probably didn't even pay. In some instances, when a property is valued at let's say 500,000, people taking a loan off that property, they didn't pay the 500,000, right? So you automatically earn income. You could take that, put that back in the market. I'll stop there, but that is one way that the average family can make a lot of money.
So, like I said, I thank you so much, man, for taking us into your world. I thank you for the nuggets that you dropped. Listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you or connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, sir?
Yeah, so it's very easy. You can go to you can email me at kpinder@thomas&thomas.investments. We're also Thomas and Thomas has a presence on LinkedIn, so you can go to Thomas and Thomas dot investments. You can go to the website. Our emails there. Again, we have the Series 65 advisors, licensed advisors, equipped to handle you. But that's the best way. But again, I thank you for your time. I know we talked a lot about how we can leverage simple assets, but there's a lot more to that. But I think I appreciate you taking the time, listening. Alternative ways of retail investors can really take a simple approach, right, to understanding the investment market. And I want to say this real quick. The Dow Jones Diversified REITs, just like the Dow Jones, right? The ticker is DJUSDT. So I say that again, DJUSDT has consistently gone up since you know, 3 years. So if you look at a 3-year chart, it's gone up. Interest rates gone down. Interest rates has gone down 25 basis points. I predicted interest rates would go down again before December, or by December, another 25 basis points. Um, you know, the mortgage industry, the housing industry is on a 31-year low. Okay. When we talk about where we are right now, materials at an all-time high. Right now is a great time to buy. Okay. Is a great time to buy, whether you're buying in the open market or you buying, if you're buying a hard asset or you're buying liquidity, it's a great time to buy. I will tell you this, there's so many opportunities out there in the market for you to earn real money. My last thought is, for anyone who's investing in the market, always negotiate. Everything is negotiable, right? And I will negotiate to the highest letter. So that's just my 2 cents.
Awesome, awesome. Mr. Pender, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your story. Thank you for the nuggets that you've dropped and added value to this platform. We really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you very much. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. And to everyone else, thank you so much for joining. You know what you got to do. If you have not done it already, please make sure you are subscribed. You do not want to miss out on these amazing conversations. So, Mr. Pinder, thank you again. And to everyone else, we'll see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.